Citizens of the Republic, welcome to episode 2 of Diner Talk, a Star Wars podcast, the greatest Star Wars podcast on the internet, even though it's the second episode. You are watching this on the Star Wars CS YouTube channel, the peak of Star Wars content. My name's Logan. I'm joined by my co-host here, Mark. In this episode, we're mainly just going to be talking about news and rumors in Star Wars as of late. It is the end, coming up on the end of February, and to be honest, we got a whole bunch of random things over the past few months, and it's just some things to sit and talk about. Not really a whole bunch of like real meaningful discussion, but we'll see what we can muster out of this. But first thing up on the agenda for today is talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. This is currently, hopefully with no delays, slated for May 22nd, 2026. So next year, we are getting the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And we've had a few little leaks, people are saying. We have no idea how true it is. But apparently, Rada the Hutt is going to be within the story somehow. And also, Embo is rumored to be the main villain. I don't know about all that, but Mark, how are you feeling about this news?
Oh man, that's pretty exciting. The release date, obviously it's still a long way away, but time moves by really fast, so I'm sure it'll be here in the blink of an eye. And that leak with Emba, that's interesting. Main villain? I don't know. I might be able to see him in a main villain role. I don't know though. I think that might be an interesting route to take with Embo, because he's never really. I feel like obviously in the Clone Wars he never really was like the one of a main villain. He was more like I guess a side-ish villain. He was never really the point of emphasis, I guess.
Yeah, he's a bounty hunter. He
Yeah.
literally played the role that every bounty hunter does.
Exactly. Yeah.
At some points they're gonna be a villain, and that's just how it is.
So that really piques my interest here, because I want to know, like, if he is, then what's his motive in this?
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming it would have to involve Grogu again, but
yeah, I feel like he's still just got to be a bounty hunter.
Yeah, like he's just been a bounty hunter this whole time. He has to be.
Yeah, I could see it, but I don't quite agree with. Well, see, the thing is, where this is still a rumor, so we can't sit here and bash it too much. But
that's true.
I don't think I would be fond of Embo being just a full villain, because I feel like that's what I'm thinking is he maybe within this movie he's the antagonist, but it's like because like this movie is technically like Mando season 4, maybe it's kind of moving toward that Heir to the Empire movie, so he's kind of just like a pawn in it. Maybe that's the thing that makes the most sense to me. I don't see him actually like full on being a villain.
So I see what you're saying. You're thinking of more like a transitional, like he's like a minor villain that's gonna lead up to the big villain, which is obviously Thrawn.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And Heir to the Empire. So I could see them going that direction possibly.
I feel like that one just makes the most sense, especially for a character like Embo. Like, he's not gonna be like the big bad villain in Star Wars. Like, that just does not work.
Yeah, like you said, he's just a bounty hunter at the end of the day. So
yeah, unless he's become like some sort of crime lord, and he's basically like taken that Jabba the Hutt role or something.
That would be insane.
That's just something that everyone can have their own opinion on of what they think about that. I remember seeing a tweet around the time that this got leaked, and it was saying something like, Dave Filoni's just reaching his hand into his toy box and pulling something out to play with because it's been a while. And it's like, that is actually pretty true. Like
he does do that often.
He doesn't like making new characters, so we just pull out some old ones.
All right, which one am I pulling out now?
I have two main things about this that I think one reason that he might be pulling Embo out of the toy box is because he voices Embo.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I think that could also just be, he could just be like, oh, I want to do something, so let me just use Embo, I guess. And another thing is, one other reason I might not quite like it is because I feel like if you bring out Embo as a villain in this movie, he probably has to die. And I don't want Embo to die.
That's another good point, yeah.
Like, there's certain characters in Star Wars that I don't need to see them die. You know?
Yeah, and Embo's one of them.
Yeah, like, that would just make me sad because he's just that cool.
He is sweet. I've always liked him in the Clone Wars. That release date though, I still just 2026.
Yeah, that's the earliest next Star Wars movie.
And it's probably gonna get delayed. I'm just gonna.
I don't know. I feel like it's like I think it's in production and everything. Like it's actually no. I think it finished filming.
Did it?
I think.
Well, that would be huge then. I just feel like it's a trend now, and this is, I guess, off topic kind of, but on topic too with just movies.
Yeah.
I feel like movies are having a problem now where they keep they give you this release date and then they like extend it. Or they'll give you a release date that's like 5+ years down the road, and it's like, why'd you even tell me?
Yeah, because I'm not even gonna care about it.
Yeah, like I really hope that with Star Wars movies, they don't go down that route, because like the Batman 2, like I'm so excited for that because I love the Batman, the first one, and it's just like it's never gonna come out. It feels like the last Spider-Verse movie, like I feel like that's never coming out either. Keeps getting delayed. So I really hope that this one, like, they stay on track here with not only this movie, but just like movies down the line, because obviously they're gonna have a couple more. So I really hope that we don't just keep getting delays, or like, oh yeah, this movie's gonna come out 20 years later. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like some ridiculous release date.
I think it's actually hilarious that you just said all that, because that moves in well to our next topic of the new Jedi Order movie, the Rey movie, people are calling it, because that has actually been delayed multiple times.
Yeah, I do remember hearing about that.
That one has been delayed because they cannot find a writer they want. I think they are on their fourth writer for the movie, and they're just, I don't know, they're just cycling through shit, seeing what works. And there have been quotes, and I actually think it's a quote from Daisy Ridley, saying that they're like trying to take their time with it, and they don't want to rush it out, which is like, that's 100% fine. That's preferred.
Yeah, like I understand definitely taking your time,
but they don't need to be giving us release dates if they're going to be taking their time.
What I'm saying, these everybody I feel like now does this. They give you a release date, but then they like keep pushing it back, saying, "Oh, we want to make sure that this movie's perfect and there's no flaws." Like, okay, I understand that. I want the movie to be good too, but quit giving me release dates. Just say it. Don't even give me one until like, especially with this one, like, the writer, so you have the story set already, so you know what you want to do, and then you start filming, and then you can tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, quit,
Yeah, tell me
just
when you're like 6 steps past where you are right now.
exactly. Like, there needs to be once you have the plan and set of how you want the story to be, where you're gonna shoot it, who's gonna be in it, then you can tell me like when it should be out in theater.
uh, this kind of aligns with this, just because it's in, I think, the era that would be about this. But I didn't have this on our list of topics because I didn't like this was like such a flash in the pan rumor. Like I saw it once and then never saw it again. But I remember seeing something about them like wanting to create another Star Wars trilogy and have it connected to the Skywalker saga. And I was just like, I remember I read that and I'm like, what the fuck are we even doing? Like, cuz like what motive do you have for doing that?
Yeah, like what's the point?
Like cuz you could say, "Oh, we want to capitalize on it still being connected to the Skywalker saga because that's what people care about." Brother, you haven't put out a movie disconnected from the Skywalker saga. I actually you never have. Cuz they all technically are.
Well,
Solo has a Han fucking Solo in it.
that's true.
Rogue One is a
that
direct
definitely.
prequel to A New Hope.
Yeah.
And then the fucking Clone Wars movie. Like,
Yeah.
like you have never put out a movie that is not connected to the Skywalker saga. Like,
Nope. The Mandalorian and Grogu, that'll be the first one, right?
yes,
Yeah.
because like, I mean, technically, you know, it's in the Star Wars timeline. And I guess you could say that
Yeah.
about Rogue One and Solo, which is fine. That's personally, I would say that those aren't connected to the Skywalker saga, but they're a lot more closely connected than Mandalorian
Yeah.
Grogu will be.
True.
But you have like almost nothing to base that off of like, oh, we need to put out Skywalker saga movies because those are what are gonna do well. You have no fucking clue. You haven't put out anything that's not connected to it. So how do you know that's the only ones that are gonna do good?
They haven't even put out a movie in forever.
Exactly. They haven't put out a
So-
movie in 6 years. It'll be 7 years in between
Yeah.
movies. People like motherfuckers are sitting here thinking that like they're putting out way too many movies. Like they have way too many movies planned. I mean, dude, they put out a movie every year from 2015 to 2019.
Yeah.
They put out 5 movies. I think they have like 4 or 5 planned right now. Is that not
yeah.
fine? Like that sounds perfectly fine to me.
It's not even like they're just planned.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they're just planned. They're not.
Yeah.
We
not
have
that big of a
one
deal.
that is actually 100% going to be released
Yes.
because it's done filming and everything. So yeah, dude, if if Lucasfilm made the decision to release another Skywalker Saga trilogy, I might jump out a fucking window.
That would easily be like the worst direction that they can take.
Yeah.
They're just like there's no reason for that, like at all. Like just you have a like from episode 1 to episode 9, there's a lot of time in
Yeah.
there, and then we're going like before even like we're going before episode 1, which is fine too because you know there's a lot of stuff that led up to episode 1, so I would like to see some of that. So obviously we're going back there, but there is like zero reason for a new trilogy. We have so many we have some gaps in the timeline that I would personally like to see filled out before that. So that if they did that, if that like came out and said that they were like if they like announced and said they were going to do that, I don't think I'd be excited. I mean, I would still watch it, but I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
be as excited for another like some other project.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm kind of at the point with Star Wars where because we haven't had many, I want to see like standalone movies.
I'm same here.
Like I love Rogue One and Solo. Like I want to see movies that aren't connected to multiple other movies that you all gotta watch in a row. Uh, I don't know. I think that sort of stuff just adds to the MCU type thing that they're really riding with at the moment.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like Skeleton Crew so much. It's so
It
disconnected. You can actually watch it
it
without
it
watching anything else.
like it felt like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Something that I felt like we needed in Star Wars. So I just wish they would do more of that type of stories as
Mm.
well. I guess because they were just so much. They were so fun, and they were all new characters. Like you got to connect with them, learn about their backstories and stuff a little bit. So I think they should do more of that, at least as of right now. And then obviously we got some movies planned, which is huge because, like you said, we're about to go on 7 years of not having a movie. So that'll be nice, little breath of fresh air as well to go see a Star Wars movie in theaters.
Yeah. I think like I feel like with having shows and stuff, I mean we talked about this a lot in the first episode of the podcast, but I just want to bring it up for this point. But having like shows and stuff centered around the Force and Jedi and everything, which is what they think everyone wants, and granted that's what a lot of people want out of Star Wars, but having that be like the main focal point of all your shit, I feel like they are trapping themselves making a galaxy feel small. Like a galaxy should
Hmm.
not feel that connected. And it's all connected because everything they seem to make is about the same shit.
That's true too.
So Skeleton Crew being its own thing is that's why it's so special. Because it's so disconnected, but like it's still within the galaxy. You know that it's in that galaxy. There are things that do connect everything, but there's we don't have fucking character overlap. We don't have them like I mean, you have them like referencing things, and
Yeah,
that's like they reference like fucking Alderaan getting blown up and shit. Like they talk about shit within the Star Wars universe that makes you like realize, oh, this is in the Star Wars universe, but it's not. They have fucking X-wings, like, but
yeah.
it's so much its own story that it's like, oh, this is what Star Wars is supposed to fucking be like. It's supposed to be this expansive galaxy that you could make any fucking story with. Why are we constantly making stories about the fucking Jedi Order? And how many times do I have to see Yoda? You know what I mean?
That little green dude's everywhere. He's all over. He's
Like,
everywhere
bro,
within the movies and stuff. Like it's
he's
just
he's in everything.
yeah. I think I do agree with you there. Like Skeleton Crew, like it had the nods towards certain events and things that happen within the universe, but it's still like that's all it is. It's just like a reference, a nod. Like somebody bringing it up. Yeah, like Alderaan had was destroyed. What am I trying to say? Let me think. Lost my train of thought there.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, but it's still disconnected
Yeah.
from those events. You don't see the events. You only hear about it from a secondhand account, third-hand account. So it's like that's another charm I think that adds to the show as well.
Yeah. Um, man, that was a bit of a like little side yap sesh. That was, huh? I didn't think that was gonna happen. Bringing up the rumored trilogy. Yeah, and like we brought that up. Like I said, I only ever saw that once. So
Yeah.
who knows if that's like a legitimate rumor?
Oh, please don't be a legit rumor.
Yeah,
Please
I'm
don't.
still fucking praying. All right. Up next on the docket, The Acolyte was the second most watched Disney Plus show of 2024. I believe number one was Percy Jackson with 3 billion minutes watched. So I'm pretty surprised at the numbers for The Acolyte, like view wise. It kind of is insane to think about that it. I mean, it was the second most watched on Disney Plus, and they canceled it.
This list is kind of interesting. This list isn't what I thought it would be. Honestly,
You don't think so?
I the thing is, I expected like Bad Batch and Skeleton Crew to be down because people are, oh, the kid show. I'm not watching a kid show. You know,
Yeah.
like those weird dudes are like, I'm not watching a kid show. Like Mando still being up here, like that's kind of crazy. Like season 1.
Yeah, so the rest of the list, including Star Wars stuff, there's out of the 10 most watched on Disney Plus, 6 of them are Star Wars. Wow, it's almost
crazy.
like Star Wars shit is popular. It's, like, anyone
That's
that says
crazy.
Star Wars is dying, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, actually, shut up. Disney Plus is fucking scratching and clawing, staying alive because of Star Wars, dude.
I mean, this literally proves it right here.
So in 2024, The Acolyte was at number 2 with 2.6, almost 2.7 billion minutes watched. Then we had Bad Batch at 6. So 6 through 10 is all Star Wars. Bad Batch at 6 with 923 million minutes watched. Skeleton Crew was right below that with 914 million. Now keep in mind, that is without, I believe, the last 3 episodes, because those were in 2025.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was the last 3. So if you think about the whole show, maybe estimated around like 1.2 billion minutes watched. So
yeah,
still not anything crazy. That's fucking less than half of what Acolyte got. Granted, Acolyte had multiple months more viewing, but so Skeleton Crew is there at 7, Ahsoka at 8 with 841 million, Mando season 3 at 811 million, and then Mando season 1 at 10 with 693. Did I say Mando season 3 at 8 when it's at 9?
I don't remember, but
yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no recollection of what comes out of my mouth. But yeah, Mando season 1 still hanging on at number 10.
That surprises me.
Well, it shows you that shit is good.
It's almost like Star Wars isn't dying. That's crazy.
It's almost like Mark, if you make a show that's like disconnected from the main Star Wars timeline, it seems to do pretty well.
I mean, looking at the minutes, I can't lie.
Because Mando season 1 was the most disconnected out of all the Mando seasons. Because season 2 is when we really got in the mix with Ahsoka and Luke.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm really happy that Bad Batch is up there. I mean, that just like Bad Batch is that fucking show, man. It's got aura, bro. It's got aura.
So good. It was so good.
So for an animated Star Wars show to be that high, I'm really happy. And that's not the Clone Wars, because
the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars, because it's the first one and because it started in 2008. Like, it is the one that everyone knows and everyone like it feels like everyone has watched it.
Yes.
Like, people that have watched the Clone Wars are still like, oh yeah, I don't care about the animated shows, so I'm not gonna watch them. Like when new ones come out, but they've watched the Clone Wars. It's like, come on, man, Bad Batch might be better.
Give it a watch.
Okay, so this whole thing about the watch time, all the minutes watched and everything, is just to kind of bring it to another discussion of like, why are we canceling the Acolyte?
I don't know. That's a good question because obviously a lot of people watch. There's a lot of minutes. It's weird because you have a lot of minutes here, but like you look at the budget and it was like insane. Tag that along with the people, like a lot of people not liking it, whether it be blind hate or not or whatever. Actually, like good critique. I don't know. That's a good question. Now that really like makes me question like I want like we always discuss like why the heck the budget was so high, but now I'm really like interested. There's a lot of people that watch, but I don't know.
Like, see, I've seen a lot of people on social media that have said like these numbers came out and they're like, don't ever say the Acolyte costed too much money or they spent too much money, dude. They still spent too much money.
They definitely spent too much money.
we gotta be realistic about this.
Yeah.
They still spent too much money,
which I think definitely might have played a major part in their downfall. I feel like.
Yeah, for like
it would have had to.
If you add in the fact that it's 8 episodes, the episodes aren't terribly long, and there really isn't that crazy of like set pieces and like we're not going to space crazy often. What costed so much? I'm so mind blown.
That's a good question.
I think they would much rather invest that money into a movie because they're actually gonna see a return if they make a movie. They don't like Disney Plus is just like I just don't get the streaming business model with how much they fucking spend on these shows. How they're not making money, bro.
There's no way they are. Oh, well, obviously with the Acolyte they didn't. Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly they didn't lose just like a little bit. Like clearly they lost a good amount because they're not making it another season. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't because with the watch time and like you said with the streaming, I guess I didn't think of that. How many people stream? I don't know. I don't know what they want to see in their return on investment of these shows.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to find it. I wanted to see how many watch hours Mando season 1 had when it came out.
Yeah.
When did that come out? It came out at the end of 2019.
Yeah.
Well, here, let me just look up Disney Plus watch hours 2019. How do I have a list like this in 2024 that's like perfect? Like there's multiple articles out like showing it, but I can't find one for 2019, bro. Shut the fuck up. Okay, well that's whack. But I don't know. I feel like so the Acolyte was number 2 for the year. Dude, I feel like Mando season 1 when it came out had to have been like 4 billion.
Dude, it had to have been crazy.
Minutes watched. Oh wait, I keep looking up watch hours. I need minutes. Disney Plus 2019 all shows minutes watched. Maybe. Okay, I'm seeing I just got the list for 2024. Okay, here we go. What? What? Holy fuck. Holy fuck, I see why this shit got canceled now, bro. What the fuck? No
What, did they get
way.
like 10 billion views or some shit?
Bro, wait. Hold on. Okay, so when is this article from? It just says the 31st of March. It doesn't say what year. Love that. So, I think this is from 2021. And I don't know if this is in 2021 or just total since it released. But Mando Season 1 has 5.4 billion. But I mean that's basically 1 year. I don't know, but then I'm seeing The Mandalorian Season 2 at 8.4 billion. so like
and that had to have less of a budget than the Acolyte did.
Mando Season 2? Yeah, probably.
Because the Acolyte, that was like I think that was like the craziest budget I've seen for a show that had dropped. Star Wars specifically, anyway, I guess.
Oh my dude. Yeah, no, dude. I believe in 1 year, Mando Season 2 at 8.4 billion.
I mean, that is absolutely wild.
Like, bro, we're talking almost 3 times more. It's actually more than 3 times, right? Yeah. More than 3 times the amount of viewership that Acolyte had in. Granted, it's half a year, but you can't expect it to go up too much. Maybe it'll hit 3 billion by the time it hits a year. But
yeah, I think also like with the instant success that Mando was after Season 1, like obviously Season 2 was gonna attract a bigger audience with. Because they definitely canceled it like right when like the show was over, with the Acolyte. So they probably just seen the Mando one. I was like, okay, like we'll continue to do this like immediately after. But yeah, I mean, if those are the raw numbers. I mean, like I can see you could see why now. I guess comparing that to Mando.
Yeah, granted, everything is kind of down. It seems like.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, when you look at the Disney Plus most watched shows at the end of the year, and fucking 6 of them are Star Wars shows, I mean, you got something going for you.
One of them came out in 2019, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, like even though they might not be initial successful hits, like you have Star Wars shows that are just living on year after year.
Yes.
So, I don't know. It definitely got canceled because of the amount of money it costed. That's literally it. Like,
there's no doubt in my mind that's
like, yeah, it was the second most viewed show on Disney Plus, but it still wasn't viewed enough to
cover for that massive
to
budget.
justify the cost.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, I feel. We talked about this after we watched the Acolyte finale. I feel like the Acolyte is kind of a turning point for Star Wars, like Star Wars media, because I feel like shit's kind of changing. Like we're definitely gonna see a bigger focus toward movies.
Yeah.
I feel like budgets are gonna be lower on some of the shows. We're probably gonna see less shows. Just less content in general.
Which is not good.
Love that. Okay, moving on. A lot of the stuff that we have left here is just kind of some minor things to just talk about for a couple minutes. Uh, First thing up is Ryan Gosling was actually cast in a Star Wars movie that is it's not in production yet, so we can't say it's actually going to happen. But I believe production is either supposed to start this year or next year. But yeah, Ryan Gosling is casted in the movie. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's exciting, man. Like, that's a big name
Yeah.
entering the Star Wars universe. I mean, I was hyped when Jude Law was, introduced in this. Because I love Jude Law. But Ryan Gosling, I mean, this is a massive name to enter within the Star Wars movies at this point. So,
And
I'm good.
keep in mind, he has not been in any like major movie franchise. Like he hasn't been in like the MCU. He hasn't been in anything like that. So Star Wars is his first like jump into the franchising of these movies.
That's true. I forgot about that, but yeah, no, I think this is gonna be great for not only Star Wars, but it'll be good for Ryan Gosling too. I think this is a great addition for his resume because obviously his resume is already stacked. Along with Star Wars getting a name like him, so I'm definitely excited for that. I also, there's some other big names out there you always want to see. I mean, for me, it's my biggest one's Keanu Reeves.
He's got to be Revan. If they ever do anything with Revan, he's got to be Revan.
Saying. He's the perfect Revan. He is the perfect Revan. If you want to do a trilogy, do a trilogy on Revan and put Keanu Reeves and cast him in that. There you go.
Yeah. If we're gonna do a fucking trilogy, quit making it about the goddamn Skywalkers, man.
But I'm super excited for Ryan Gosling. I'm hoping this opens up the door for some other guys. Like I said, for me personally, I would love to see Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Super excited about that. Let me just real quick see. I don't know if it's the Dawn of the Jedi movie that he was cast in. Whichever one, I believe Sean Levy is directing.
Trying to think back to my HoloNet news if I remember.
Yeah, I'm
It might be the Dawn of the Jedi.
Okay, it says untitled. Yeah, it's not the Dawn of the Jedi one. I forget who's doing the Dawn of the Jedi one. That would have been actually pretty sick.
That would have been sweet. That would have been
so this is another movie that like has no current plot that we know of or anything like that. So I guess out of movies that we know, like we're getting Mandalorian and Grogu, we're getting the Dawn of the Jedi, we're getting the new Jedi Order movie, we're getting Heir to the Empire. That's 4. And then this one is currently there. So that's 5 that there's only 4 that we know of. That we know what they're supposed to be about and shit.
Yeah.
But 5 of them that are currently planned. I still don't know about that fucking that trilogy shit and how valid that news was. All right. Next thing up, this is Trolley. A new Vader comic came out recently, and Darth Vader kills Watto. How do you feel?
I'd actually seen that on Twitter. I'd seen I think I had seen like a couple pictures on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it only like makes sense. I mean, Watto. I mean, come on, like, not really a great guy. Not really a super great guy.
As fun as it is to do an impression of him, he's not a great guy.
Yeah, it's fun to do an impression, but in the Star Wars universe, he is a pretty shitty person. So I feel like Vader. It is Anakin, obviously, at the end of the day. So him going back and getting like revenge because he's Darth Vader, it only makes sense.
Yeah, and all the people criticizing this and trying to make it seem like Anakin would like Watto, shut the fuck up. Makes perfect sense. I don't know why. Like, I put this on here because it was like, for some reason, a major argument on Twitter. So I don't know why something like that would cause such an uproar, but hey, it's fine with me.
Like you could see, like you could even like I feel like in episode 2 when he goes back to see Watto, you can kind of sense like he doesn't really like him.
Yeah.
I feel like with the tone of his voice, and at this point, Vader like he just goes around and kills people. Like he doesn't care. He
Yeah, he's
does
got
not
no
care.
remorse for anyone.
Yeah, so I feel like it just makes sense. But
yeah, that was something to just talk about for a second because it was just so stupid. Okay, moving on. Ahsoka season 2. We have a little bit of news regarding people that are rumored to be in it, and that is Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme.
let's go.
How do you feel about what seems to be we're definitely gonna see like Clone Wars flashbacks almost certainly, because I believe her name is Ariana Greenblatt, the young Ahsoka in Ahsoka season 1 is also supposed to be in it. So
yeah, it's kind of interesting that they're doing it again.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do it. Because obviously, like, the first one, like, season 1, like, it made sense, like, how they did it. So I don't know how they would do it in this one. But regardless, like, I get my big three. I get to see my big three, like, in a show. Like, that's my big three right there. So regardless of how they do it, I'm sure I'll probably enjoy it. Obviously, always a massive Hayden fan. So anytime he's in anything, I just fanboy out. Like, that's my goat. So.
Yeah, and I mean, you know how I feel about Padme. That's my fucking goat. So Padme is my favorite Star Wars character, and I have been absolutely blue-balled a billion times with having her in Star Wars again. Like, I'm pretty sure. Also, this wasn't like super relevant, so I didn't add it or anything. I also didn't think about it until this, but I think it was actually said that either she was supposed to be in it, or at least she was 100% supposed to be name dropped in Kenobi, and they just like decided not to. That pisses me off. Like, what are we doing, man?
I feel like she should have at least been name dropped or something. I feel like.
Yeah, dude, they like. I swear to God, they treat Padme like fucking Voldemort. They literally will not say her name.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
And they also like very rarely talk about her when you have many situations where she's pretty fucking prevalent. They refuse to talk about her, but then they also just, when they do talk about her, they never say her name.
It's so weird to me that they don't do it. Like, she's a big part of the story. You would think that you would want to like name drop her in some spots, include her in some things. Like,
I'm gonna be honest. You want to know a really fucking good thing that they could do?
what's that?
Name drop her in Andor. She was
Yeah.
literally one of the people that started the rebellion. She was like friends with Mon Mothma, and like one of the reasons why the rebellion started. Mon Mothma would probably fucking bring her up at some point.
You would think.
It only makes sense.
Like, it's insane to me. She helped start the rebellion. She's the mother of Leia and Luke.
Yeah.
The two most important people in the original trilogy. Like, I don't know. Maybe bring her up every now and again. I don't know.
Yeah. But either way, it's not fully confirmed that Natalie Portman is like in on it. I could 100% see. Well, I know for a fact Hayden's gonna be in it. Like, they're gonna have Anakin in it to some degree. Like, that's just a given.
Yeah.
And Ewan definitely, like, he loves the Star Wars community now, so I could see him wanting to come back. Natalie Portman is a maybe.
Yeah, I've seen, because I think they're trying to play it off like she's not gonna be in it.
Yeah.
but I feel like she's said on multiple occasions, I think, that she would be interested in, you know, coming back as Padme. So I feel like they're trying to downplay it, like, oh no, it's not
Yeah.
confirmed or she's not coming back, but then she'll be in it. Like, I just have a feeling like something like that might play out, which I hope, because like I said, that's my big three. I need to see them all together on my
Yeah.
TV screen again.
And I think it would be like you got to think that Hayden and Ewan can probably convince her as well.
Oh yeah,
Like I feel like cuz I feel like with the prequel cast, the only reason you would have for not really wanting to come back is just the hate that the prequels got when they came out. And that has completely turned on its head. And now like the stars of the prequels have realized that.
yeah, like
And they're seeing it.
like you can just tell when Hayden and or Ewan, like especially at, like Celebration, for example, like when they
Yeah.
walked out at the previous Celebration, dude, they walked out and the crowd was roaring. Dude, I was sitting there, I got goosebumps when I was sitting there
Bro.
watching it. I got goosebumps. It
It's
was
insane.
insane. So I can only imagine the reaction that Natalie Portman would get as well if all three of them walked out on stage.
Holy shit.
That
bro.
would just be. I don't even want
Dude.
to. I might start levitating. It might be that crazy.
Man. But to real quick for me to talk about the Ahsoka season 2, I'm like, I don't really want them to do too much flashback stuff, because I do feel like season 1 was really when they needed to do that. So I'm wondering what role that plays in all this into season 2, because we don't even really know what the plot is. Because I mean we're thinking like Abeloth is included in all this, and like how that's gonna work out. Like that could like how that's included could then make it easier to include the flashback stuff, and that's how like everything kind of comes together. Maybe that's my only thought. But excited for Ahsoka season 2. Hopefully we get that in a reasonable amount of time, though. That's all I'm hoping for.
Yep.
One of the last things we got here, Andor season 2, coming out in April. April 22nd is the premiere of it. How are you feeling, man?
Yes, peak. We're back. We're peak Star Wars. I don't know if it's gonna have the same. I don't think it'll have the same charm as episode or season 1 did.
Yeah.
But, dude, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see K2SO, man. It's gonna be so awesome to get him and Cassian in the whole like season. Like, it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. I loved Andor season 1. I think I'll love this season 2. I don't see a reason why I won't.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure. So the season is 12 episodes. I think what they're doing is they're either 3-episode arcs or 4-episode arcs. I think it's 3-episode arcs, and every 3 episodes there's like a 5-year jump in between each arc. So that's a cool way of doing it, and okay. I think we're really gonna see like a pretty interesting spread of story, because we're seeing so much time over the 12 episodes. So I think that's going to be the most interesting part of the whole season, is just having all those time jumps and getting to see a lot of change over those 12 episodes.
Yeah, he's gonna be he's just gonna be awesome, man. And let's not forget the GOAT, Tony Gilroy.
Oh,
he's gonna cook it up.
He's gonna cook it up.
And I googled this, so it looks like it looks like he wrote some, and Dan Gilroy wrote some.
Okay.
And he is a sibling of Tony.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I know they're in the lab cooking up some heat.
The Gilroy family is just a whole bunch of legends.
Dude,
They're just
they
cooking
know
shit
how
up.
to write they know how to write a script. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So excited for Andor season 2. That's all the information we have for shows coming out this year, I believe. Is we just only know about Andor season 2.
I haven't heard
There
anything
might
else,
be.
so.
I think. Don't quote me. I think a new season of Young Jedi Adventures comes out. Not that that's something that we're locked in on, but I think another season of that comes out, and I think there's supposed to be a third season of Visions, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
But that's just something to throw out there. So we really don't have much of a slate for the year. So that kind of leads into the next thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Star Wars Celebration and predictions that we might have for it. Because for the past few years, we've had like 3 shows every year. This is the first year we're going into it where I think we actually only have 1 confirmed. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you see a new show getting announced that could come out this year?
I don't know. They really, if they were gonna do that, they would really have to keep this show like under the table for like a long time for it to not get, because it would it would already have to be done like filming and everything like and be in post production to be able to get out.
Yeah.
Because obviously like Andor is gonna be the first show of this year, so it'd have to come out later, like after that. I don't know. If we only get 1 show this year, I might be a little disappointed, because that like to your point, that might show their focus more into going into the movies, rather than the shows now. So I don't know. I don't see them announcing a show that would be able to drop this year.
I think the only possibility would be another, which I mean you could call it a show if you want, but another Tales of situation.
Oh yeah,
that would be my only thought, because I believe Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire, like there was no, like they came out very quickly, like they didn't really, and there was no rumors for it, so it was kind of kept under wraps. So I feel like that's something that could happen.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm with you. I feel like the only type of show that could come out is if it's another animated show.
Yeah, I will agree on that.
I will say though, one of my predictions 100% is they're going to announce another animated show. And my bet is going to be on like a Clone Rebellion sort of thing, like following Rex and Echo or something like that. That's my guess. For a animated show that they will, they're 100% announcing another animated show. I'm like, I can almost guarantee it.
They have to. They'd have to, because there's nothing else that would be able to drop that quickly.
Yeah.
With having no like traction or anything on like somebody leaking it. I'm kind of hoping that I get some news on this last Star Wars Jedi game with Cal Kestis. I'm hoping I get a little bit of news on that, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that would be exciting, because I'm just itching to get back into that game, and I want a third one. I want to see how the story ends.
Yeah.
So
okay,
that's...
let's lock in here. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna list off predictions that I have.
Okay.
So, like I already said, they're 100% announcing a new animated show. My guess is a Clone Rebellion show. I think they're announcing at least 1 live action show. Whatever the fuck it is, I have no idea. Like it could literally be about anything. I have no clue what the fuck they could do. But I feel like they're gonna announce something. It could come out 4 years from now, but they're gonna announce it. I think we probably get more information on the Dawn of the Jedi movie and hopefully the Ryan Gosling movie. Whatever
Yes.
that's going to be. Like I kind of want to just know a little bit more like about what time period or what it's supposed to be about.
Mhm.
But those are my big hopes. And because you brought up video games, it made me think of this, which is a thought I had earlier. I think I pray that they are going to announce a new like mass multiplayer game
Oh my god, dude.
because it's desperately needed. We haven't had anything like that in years. Like, well, the last one was technically Squadrons,
Yeah.
and before that was Battlefront 2, 2017. So I feel like it's just needed in Star Wars. I feel like they're going to announce some sort of games for sure, and I feel like definitely they're gonna talk about the new Jedi game, 100%.
Hmm.
But I my prediction and my hope is that they announce a new mass multiplayer game for Star Wars. And then last thing, because they have like a bunch of confirmed appearances for people. Like
Hmm.
Hayden and Ewan are confirmed. Like about
Let's
like
go.
Oscar Isaac.
I seen that. Yeah.
So like they have a bunch of confirmed people, and then there's definitely people that they're hiding.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt people are hiding.
We talked about it. I'm predicting Natalie Portman showing up.
That
They're doing it.
that would be a crazy dude. That pop. Imagine you bring out Hayden and Ewan, and they're just like talking, right? And then they somehow transition, and Natalie Portman walks
Yeah.
out. Like, dude, that would be insane.
Yeah.
I would, if sitting in my home, I would jump out of my seat. I would jump out of my seat. That would be absolutely insane if they did that.
So those are my predictions at the moment for Star Wars Celebration 2025.
That's a pretty good lineup you got there. I think I would be excited to see all those things.
Yeah,
Uh,
I tried to spread predictions across multiple facets of it.
yeah. For me, obviously, I brought it up. Jedi's the next Jedi game, last one in the trilogy. That's really what I'm like. That's like top 3 for me. Like what I want to see. I feel like.
Yeah.
Obviously Natalie Portman, another top 3 there. And I feel like with they're definitely gonna announce a show. I feel like they always announce like a couple shows.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they'll have like release dates or anything, but they'll just like say like, oh, we have like 4 shows that we'll drop. At this point, I don't even know because obviously we were talking about it was usually like 3 every year, but at this point, I don't even know if we're even gonna get 2,
Yeah.
this year. But regardless, I feel like they're gonna announce a couple shows. Probably no release dates or anything. Maybe one gets a release date because it might be closer than the other ones, but I definitely see a couple shows getting announced. What they are, I have no idea. I
Yeah.
do like the animated one that you had. I could definitely see another Tales of whatever dropping at this. I don't know
Tales of
what.
anything.
Tales of anything and anything in the Star Wars universe you can make a tale of. You can
Yeah.
you can do that, but I could definitely see that. I could also see a story with Rex and an Echo, kind of forming a clone rebellion, like you said. But I don't know if I could think of anything else after that. Obviously, we'll probably get some stuff on the movies. I'm sure we'll probably get maybe 2 or 3 of the directors. Maybe they'll come out and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. Like, there's definitely like they're hiding people that I'm probably not thinking of right now. But when I see them, I'm like, oh, the snap! You know what I mean? Like, I'll just like get excited to see
Yeah.
them there. But I'm excited. I enjoyed the last celebration, so I'm very, very excited for this one coming up in April.
I think something that could surprise is they announce something like some either a show or a movie or something that has to revolve around like the Old Republic.
That would be sick.
I feel like that could be something that would be huge that they could announce.
Yeah, that would be sick.
Because I could see them finally getting to this point where they want to dip their toes in something like that.
At this point, they need to. I feel like they definitely need to at least, test the water out, and then if everything goes well, then make that damn trilogy with Keanu Reeves as Revan.
Man, they really need to next year. I need Star Wars Celebration on the East Coast, man.
Dude,
I need East Coast Star Wars Celebration. We're going, bro.
If it's on the East Coast, I don't care where it is. I'm there.
Yeah, we're going.
Count me in.
We're gonna be out on the floor, asking people trivia questions. Giving people the hardest trivia questions of all time.
Just the most obscure thing.
We're gonna be like, who was the 3-time Boonta Eve Classic winner that you see in The Phantom Menace? Come on, man. It's Bull's Roar. Like, come on.
You didn't know that? Like, come on, man. Who has a higher metachlorian count? Jinky Minus or Gaper Bingsel?
Yeah, that's...
Just start spitting brain rot.
Who has more MVPs in the Galactic Pod Racing League? Ben Quadinaros or Team Topagles?
Dude, that would be hilarious.
So, yeah, no, we need Star Wars Celebration on the East Coast, man. We talk about how Star Wars CS is the peak of Star Wars content. That would really be the peak of Star Wars content right there.
Oh, that'd be awesome. We could do the aura tier list and like have people like rank what, like pull up different pictures and have other people rank the aura.
Yeah, live aura tier list.
That'd be awesome too. That'd be sweet.
Oh man. Well, I think that does it for episode 2 of Diner Talk here. Thank you guys all for watching. Let us know in the comments what you're thinking about all this Star Wars news and everything you got going on. What are you thinking, and where do you want Star Wars to kind of go here? Because we're a little bit in the dark on what's going on this year. So we'll see what happens, and for a fact we'll be here to talk about it.
Yeah, but also love to hear your predictions for Star Wars Celebration as well.
Yes, yeah, because I guarantee other people can think of more interesting things than we can.
Yeah, and if you've seen a leak that we haven't, some big news, go ahead and throw it in the comments.
Yeah. Throw anything in the comments. Throw a give me your most obscure Star Wars character in the comments.
There you go.
See if you could beat us.
Yeah.
And with that, that'll be it for episode 2 of Diner Talk. We will catch you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.
Goodbye.